Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing really well. Let's get continuing with the MCQ session. And this is from the part two. If you guys know that it is going to be decision analysis, which is section C of part two. So let's get started with it. So we have a question in front of us. Whenever we have a question in front of us, we need to read the requirement first. So the requirement here is assuming segment B is closed, the effect on operating income would be. Okay, fine. So let's get started with the question. Following are the operating results of two segments, A and B, and here's the total. Sales is 10,000, 15,000. So this segment, right? Yeah, section B is going to be closed. Variable cost is there, fixed cost of goods sold, gross margin, variable selling, fixed selling and administrative operating income. Right now, they are having an operating income of 500. Fine. Variable cost of goods sold are directly related to the operating segments. Fixed cost of goods sold are allocated to each segment based on the number of employees. Fixed selling and administrative expenses are allocated equally. If segment B is eliminated, 1500 of fixed cost of goods sold will be eliminated. So where's that? Okay, this is going to be eliminated of 1500. Is going to go off, so it's going to be 1,000 remaining here. Fine. Assuming segment B is closed, the effect of operating income would be. All right. I hope that this question is quite clear. I hopefully think so. But there is one point where we can make a mistake. So let me just solve this first and then talk about where we can go and commit a mistake. So if you see here, our sales will be 10,000 because this is going to go off. I'm going to do this total, okay? This is supposed the total. Then our variable cost will be 4,000 only. This is also going to go off. Variable cost 4,000. Then fixed cost of goods sold is 1,500. And here 115 is what? Sorry, 1,500 is going to be eliminated. So 1,000 is still going to be there. So I'll take it as 2,500 as the fixed cost. What would be my gross margin? My gross margin will be, I think so, 6, 4, 3,500. Okay. Now my gross margin is 3,500. Then my variable selling and administrative, this 3,000 is going to be eliminated. 2,000 here. And then fixed selling and administrative 1,500 and 1,500. This one is not going to be eliminated. This is going to be there because that's fixed cost. So minus 3,000. So if I just see here, this is minus 5,000 and 3,500. So I'm getting a loss of 1,500. Okay. There's a loss of 1,500. But now the question is, so the options given here is an increase of 500 and increase of 2,000. So this is not going to be the answer at all because it is a loss, right? From 500, it's going down to 1,500. Decrease of 2,000, a decrease of 2,500. So what is the decrease in here? If you see here, it is 500 to minus 1,500. So this is actually a decrease of 2,000. All right. So a decrease of 2,000 is the answer. Where we can go wrong is just say out what is our new loss, or we can say that, see, this 1,500 is not going to be eliminated. Sorry, this 1,500 is going to be eliminated, remaining with 1,000 here, and 1,500 here is also going to be there. So which is 1,000 plus 1,500. We can just say 2,500 is going to be a loss, which is going to come from department B, segment B. We can go with this option if we are not that, you can make this decision in your question if you are in a hurry. Or else if you just see here that shall we take this or not, this may also go off. That can also be happening if your concepts are not clear. So I hope that you've got this answer, which is option C, a decrease of $2,000. Let's move towards the next question. Oh, nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what it is. We need to go read the requirement first. Which of the following items should Grapevine consider in its decision to continue or terminate Department 3 operations? So let me just say, which of the following items should Grapevine consider in its decision to continue or terminate? Okay, so basically he's asking us what are the relevant topics out of these 6. Okay, what is relevant in considering to whatever is the question? Let us just read the main question now. So Grapevine Corporation produces two joint products, JP1, JP2, and a single byproduct, BP1, in Department 2 of its manufacturing plant. Okay, so that's happening in Department 2 of its manufacturing plant. JP1 is subsequently transferred to Department 3, where it is refined into a more expensive, higher priced product, JP1R. Okay, so this is going to be refined in Department 3. And they'll also get a byproduct there, BP2, which is nothing but byproduct 2. And this is joint product 1 refined. Recently, Santa Fe Company introduced a product that would completely compete directly with JP1R. So this guy has got a competition, which is getting refined in Department 3. And as a result, Grapevine must reevaluate its decision to process JP1 further. The market for JP1 will not be affected by Santa Fe's product. Okay, Santa Fe product, anyhow, it's competing with JP1R, which is actually the refined product. But that's not going to affect the market of JP1, which is the joint product. And Grapevine plans to continue the production of JP1 even if further processing is terminated. Okay, so if he is going to finish this off, still he's going to produce JP1. That's fine. Should this later action be necessary, Department B will be dismantled. Okay, so if you are going to terminate JP1R or further processing, then Department 3 is actually going to be terminated. Fine. Now, which of the following items should Grapevine consider in its decision to continue or terminate Department 3 operations? Okay, so to take a decision whether to keep Department 3 or not, what are the things we should be considering? So what are the things going to be relevant to us? That's the question. Okay. He's not asking whether we should take it or not. He's just asking what all are the things relevant to us. So number 1, the selling price per pound of JP1. The selling price, yes, it is future oriented. Yes, this should be considered. Then the total directly labor cost in Department 3. Yes, we need to consider whether it is whether it is we should continue with this Department 3 or not. We should know what is the cost of Department 3. Fine. Then the unit marketing and packaging cost of BP2. So BP2 is the byproduct which is being made out of the product which is refined. So which is basically from Department 3 itself. So let us see that. I think so. This should also be relevant because this is something happening after the refined process. So it's future oriented. Then supervisor salary of Department 3 personnel who will be transferred elsewhere in the plant if processing is terminated. So the salary which you're going to give them, that is, I think so, a sunk cost only because you are going to pay them whether they are here or there. So I don't think so that's necessary for taking decision. So this is not. Then Department 2 joint cost allocated to JP1 and transferred to Department 3. Now, this is something which is related to Department 2, and that is going to happen irrelevant of Department 3 is taken into consideration or not. So this is also kind of not to be taken into consideration. Then the cost of existing JP1R inventory. Now, JP1R inventory, he's saying. So this inventory, which has already been produced, why should I take this particular into consideration at all? So JP1R, not at all a relevant cost because it's already been produced. They are not saying the cost of the next manufacturing which we are going to do. They are saying the existing inventory which is already there. Existing inventory, it's already there, that's sunk cost. So option 4, 5, and 6 are out, but option 1, 2, 3 are in. So let us see what option do we have. We have option B for it, and that is our answer. All right. So you see there are some minor things which we need to take into consideration. Existing JP1R inventory. But if it is asking about the upcoming production of JP1R, that's going to be relevant. Okay. Then you see here, this department to joint cost also is irrelevant because that's going to happen. Fine. Let's move towards the next question. Now, if 10,000, this is the requirement, if 10,000 new dolls are produced and sold, the effect on dollhouse profit or loss would be. Okay. So let's see. The dollhouse, a very profitable company, plans to introduce a new type of doll to its product line. The sales price and cost of the new dolls are as follows. $100 per doll is sale price. Variable cost is 60 per dollar. So the contribution is going to be 40 per dollar, 40 per doll. And the incremental cost is 456,000 and income tax rate is 30%. So if I have to take this, take $10,000, 10,000 into 40, that will give me 400,000 of contribution. This is going to be my contribution. And from this contribution, I'm going to less or deduct my fixed cost. My fixed cost is 456,000. So 456,000 is my fixed cost. So I'm getting a loss of 56,000. Is 56,000 an option? Yes, it is there an option, but wait. If you're going to take 56,000 going forward, that's wrong because you have to take tax also as consideration. Now, when we talk about tax, you should also be remembering there is always an advantage of a tax. Suppose if you get a loss of this much, you are saving on tax. How much are you saving? Is nothing but 30% on this because that's given in the question. So when I take 30% of 56,000 or 30% of 56 grand, what answer do I get? Let me just use my calculator and get to that answer. 56,000 into 0.3, it gives me 16,800. Okay. So 16,800 is my savings, or this is the tax saved on my side. So I'm getting a loss of how much? So 56,000 minus 16,800 gives me 39,200 as a loss, still a loss. Is that an option? And yes, it is an option. And this is actually my answer too. All right. I hope that you guys are able to understand these. If you're having any doubts, I'm going to pause this recording and I'm going to take your doubts right now. So feel free to ask your doubts related to these questions or anything else also related to the previous questions which we've done. If you're having any doubts right now, you can ask me right away. All right. I'm pausing this session.